Naju Odibowani Kose Blowa. Ekene Maria, Egypt na Gracia, Osebluwa Nonyeli, Idingos next Tiboronine, Others in God's Puma forgive Jesu. Maria, their son, then Ketu, Okwe Melaro, Ekene Maria, Egypt na Gracia, Osebluwa Nonyeli, Idingos next Tiboronine, Others in God's Puma forgive Jesu. Maria, their son, then Ketu,
Guys, like, subscribe, and share. Right? Thank you.
Onye nwanyị nọnyere ụlọ ka Chineke ji ike niile gọzie ụlọ nna nwa na mmụọ nsọ.
Listen to news updates on F1 103.5 FM immediately after Angelus 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. F1 FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/GistFM.
Good morning and welcome to Abona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Thursday, the 20th day of April 2023, and the time is 4 minutes past the hour of 6. Martin Ipanjukwekeze is my name. The headlines. Federal government groups alerts on prevalence of tuberculosis among children in Anambra. Dismissed Delta killer cop arraigned, remanded in prison. 2 dead, 4 injured as Jeep rams into tricycle in Anambra. Job creation. NDE trains Ebonyi women on shoe bag making. 17 ships discharged petrol, other products at Lagos port. Uruguay leads Latin America with first rate reduction. Now, details. Federal government groups alerts on prevalence of tuberculosis among children in Anambra. It has raised alarm over the high level of tuberculosis in Anambra State, especially among children. The Federal Minister of Health, in conjunction with KNCV Tuberculosis Foundation and Breakthrough Action Nigeria, made the revelation during a meeting with journalists in the state. Medical experts from the Health Ministry, KNCV Tuberculosis Foundation and Breakthrough Action Nigeria emphasized the transmission, treatment, and stigma associated with the disease. Dr. Oke Chijoke, Stella Eke, and Mr. Ihanacho Oji all warned that tuberculosis has now become very prevalent among children in Anambra State. The speakers discouraged members of society from the stigmatization of tuberculosis patients, urging people who suspect symptoms of the disease to seek medical help. Chijoke said, "We know that the low childhood tuberculosis awareness and refusal by parents to have their children tested has remained a major bane of eradicating the disease. To test children for tuberculosis, you have to take their stool. This is because children do not know how to spit out sputum after coughing. Rather, they swallow them. But the challenge now is that parents refuse to let doctors have their children's tools for the test. Some attribute such demands to fetishism, while many attribute their illness to their uncles in the village. We need the media to sensitize the people about this, he said. Mrs. Eke gave some symptoms of tuberculosis to include coughing exceeding 2 weeks, weight loss, excessive sweating at night, and others. Dismissed Delta killer cop arraigned, remanded in prison. Dismissed Inspector Ubi Ebri, who shot dead Onyeka Ibe during a stop and search duty on April 5th in Delta State, was on Wednesday remanded in prison by an Asaba Magistrate Court. The prosecutor, G.O. Okwebe, told the court that Ebri, in April, along Asaba Ubolu Road in Asaba, unlawfully killed one Ibe Onyeka by shooting him with a one-count charge against the ex-inspector Eberi committed an offense punishable under Section 319, subsection 1 of the Criminal Code Law, Cap C21 Volume 1 Laws of Delta State of Nigeria 2006. The court did not take the defendant's plea and, however, remanded him to prison. The magistrate court adjourned the case to May 8, 2023. Meanwhile, in a statement by the State Delta Police Command through the Police Public Relations Officer (PPRO) on Wednesday, the police reassured the public to walk its talk by ensuring justice is seen to be done in the matter. The dismissed inspector was today arraigned on 19th of April 2023 before Asaba Magistrate Court on a remand proceedings for the murder of Onyeka Ibe. The court ordered that the suspect be remanded at the Ogwachiukwu Correctional Center while the case file be sent to Director of Public Prosecution (DPP) for the legal advice and prosecution of the suspect by the Office of the DPP. The command has therefore tasked officers and men to uphold the tenets of professional policing in the discharge of their duties with respect to fundamental human rights of all citizens in line with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, while hoping that this will serve as a deterrent to other officers, the statement read. Two injured as jeep rams into tricycle in Anambra. 2 persons died while 4 sustained varying degrees of injury in fatal crash in Nibo, Oka South, Anambra State. The crash, which occurred on Tuesday around 3:30 p.m. along Oye Nibo Road, involved Mercedes-Benz ML 350 Jeep with registration numbers AE 712 ABM and an unmarked tricycle. Tochukwu Kenga, in a statement, said only 2 persons died in the accident, adding that investigations into the crash have commenced. He said Anambra police operatives have recovered a Mercedes-Benz ML 350 Jeep with registration number AE 712 ABM and an unmarked tricycle involved in a fatal accident that occurred on 17th of April 2023 by 3:30 p.m. along Oyenibo Road, Oka South. The operatives responding to the distress call found 2 lifeless, unidentified male bodies on the road, while 4 others who were seriously wounded were rushed to the hospital for medical attention. The 2 bodies were recovered and deposited in the morgue. Meanwhile, investigations into the unfortunate incidents are still ongoing, and further details shall be communicated. Job creation. NDE trains Ebonyi women on shoe bag making. National Directorate of Employment (NDE) has commenced a 5-day training for women on shoe and bag making in Ebonyi. Newsmen reports that the program was declared open by the Director General of NDE, Malam Abubakar Nuhu Fipo, in Abakaliki on Wednesday. Nuhu Fipo, represented by the NDE coordinator in the state, Dr. Don Anaba, said that the week-long training was to boost the capacity of women in job creation and reduce unemployment rates, not only in Ebonyi but in Nigeria at large. He said that the training under the Women Employment Branch (WEB), a platform of the Small Scale Enterprises (SSE) department of NDE, was aimed at designing income generating activities for women to generate mass employment and reduce poverty among them. Nuhu people added that the directorate, through its intervention programs and schemes, had created over 1 million direct jobs for women of all categories through skills acquisition. Ms. Chidio, Ms. Shikodi Ike, head of department Small Scale Enterprises of NDE Abuja office, said that no fewer than 740 unemployed women were participating in the training across the federation. 17 ships discharge petrol, other products at Lagos Port. The Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) on Wednesday said 17 ships at the Lagos Port Complex were discharging petroleum products and other items. It listed the items being discharged as general cargo container, bulk urea, bulk wheat, bulk sugar, bulk salt, butane, propane, and frozen fish. The authority also said that 26 other ships were expected at the port between April 19th and April 30th. It is said that the ships were carrying frozen fish, containers, bulk sugar, bulk wheat, bulk gypsum, general cargo, butane gas, broken glass, automobile gasoline, and petrol. It stated that four other ships had arrived at the port waiting to berth with container, bulk soya beans, frozen fish, and petrol. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Uruguay leads Latin America with first rate reduction. Uruguay became the first inflation targeting country in Latin America to start lowering borrowing costs after the economy entered a technical recession in the second half of 2022. The decision to cut its key rate a quarter point to 11.25% surprised market participants surveyed by the central bank, who expected policymakers to leave the rate unchanged Wednesday. The central bank had lifted its key rate 700 basis points to 11.5% between August 2021 and December 2022 as inflation accelerated to almost 10% last year. The monetary authority's move marked its first rate cut since the central bank readopted a benchmark rate as its main policy tool in September 2020. This decision is consistent with the continuity of a contractive monetary policy and the objective of continuing efforts to bring inflation and inflation expectations within the 3 to 6% target range, the central bank said in a statement. Major central banks across Latin America have kept interest rates at multi-year highs, even as inflation gradually retreats after hitting double digits in several countries during 2022. Policymakers are concerned that the premature easing might collide with an upsurge in consumer prices that will damage their credibility. In neighboring Brazil, the economic fallout from high interest rates spurred President Luiz Inacio Lula da Silva to publicly chastise the central bank for strangling growth. This is where we draw the curtain on news updates on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Federal government groups alerts on prevalence of tuberculosis among children in Anambra. Dismissed Delta killer cop arraigned, remanded in prison. 2 dead, 4 injured as jeep rams into tricycle in Anambra. Job creation. NDE trains Ebonyi women on shoe bag making. 17 ships discharge petrol, other products at Lagos port. Uruguay leads Latin America with first rate reduction. You just listened to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifeanyi Ekeze. Thank you for listening. Good morning.
updates on Ebonade 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed.
Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you.
Live reports. Ebonade FM breaks the news.